This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Stuff went numb that shouldn't go numb, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
It was kind of an awkward thing. He's like, would you guys want to come along? Can you get away to come to the island? I'm like, yeah, we just got back from there.
It is the 19th of November, 2023. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marney Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Marney, it feels great to have you back as co-host. It's been way too long. I've been doing it from the North Studio, which is the office with Justin and Adam and Mitch, and just feels good to have you back.
With the Goof Troop?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't listen to the podcast often. Mm-hmm. But I went back and I listened to the other day from Friday. And usually when I get in with a podcast, I'm just like, that's all right, I guess. Some people are like, no, that was a really good one. And I'm like, yeah. And Justin was like, it was a good one. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah. And I listened to it and I actually made myself laugh.
Good.
And at the time, I just said what I was saying. Mm-hmm. But then I listened to it and it was pretty funny. It was around the 16-minute mark into it.
Okay.
So it was Friday Fabulous Friday Fantasy or something was the name of it. But it was pretty silly.
No, I want to listen to more of them. I need to make time. I need to commit to make time to listen to the ones you guys do there because they are good. They are good. I joke about the Goof Troop thing. I mean, they are goofy, but that's part of why it's part of fun and recovery, right?
Yeah.
And so, no, I think it works. So.
Yeah, but sometimes we just go off the path a little too far, you're right. We are having fun in recovery, but sometimes it's just good to talk about recovery and stuff with you. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather you spend more time doing them than listening to them. So I'm just saying, putting it out there.
Got it.
Now, the other day, actually this morning, I was laying in bed. Guess what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about everybody doing pretty good stuff, and I was thinking about how everybody in 217 Recovery has grown over the past 6 months. And just seeing, you're growing into a new role. That's awesome. You're not at the office as much.
Right.
Which I think we're all kind of sad about that.
Yeah.
And then, Mitch is growing. He's kind of taken over the volunteer role of, assembling the volunteers. He goes to Safe Harbor and he volunteers himself there to help people who are, what do they call it? Unhoused?
Is that what they're saying? No, is that,
I guess. And then some people have problems with substances. So he goes there and just is like, hey, if you guys need some help, I can point you in the right direction.
That's good.
There's nothing in it for us, except the feel good part of it. So he's doing that and he's stepping up. Adam, when he started, being the recovery coach that he is, we didn't know there was going to be so many opportunities for him to do rides, and there are. And he actually loves that part now. And at first he was kind of like standoffish with it, but now, he was telling me the other day in my office, and he's just like, the conversations we have with people, and I think he feels like I felt so many times, like, man, if we could just put a camera in these cars and show people the difference we're making and the conversations we're having with people, it would blow their mind. People would be wanting to help us left and right. Hey, man, here, you guys do great. We need to support you. Mm-hmm. Because it is that changing, and it's just that important to someone as they're going to or from treatment. And so to see him go from, I don't really know what to talk about with these people, to like on it and just being able to relate one-on-one and having those great conversations, he really looks forward to it. And same thing with Justin, like he kind of had that already feel good stuff. And Justin said to me a long time ago, before he was working with us full time, he was just like, man, I just wish I could do this every day, like the cat. Okay, well, you're going to have cats. I mean, you can only have a badass studio if you share it with the rest of your house.
Yep. That's how this works.
So sometimes the cat, he has a big wheel, and he's exercising for me today. And he just jumps on this wheel and he's going and going and going.
Of the 24 hours in a day this cat has the opportunity. He has chosen this very moment to actually use that thing.
And we actually had to restart the podcast over because we weren't really sure what we were talking about. And we're like, let's just start it over. But we were maybe a couple minutes in, not very far. And they got behind the fireplace TV stand that's in the corner with no TV on it. And they got behind it. And they were just hanging back there and knocking stuff off. And there's a candle, like a wax candle thing on there. So I didn't want that to burn them. So you move that. And then I started to turn the fireplace on, the heat part. And they came flying out of there. So,
Yep.
yeah, so now he's doing the wheel. So now he's done. So at least that was a short workout.
Yeah.
But nope. Here he comes.
No,
Just kidding.
not.
He's just catching his breath.
Yep.
Anyway, Justin, though, has come a long way, but he's already had that part. And I already said this. Let me go back to where I'm. Oh, he said, I wish I could just drive people every day.
Yeah.
I wish I could just do this every day. And I was like, well, be careful what you wish for. And now he does. And
Yeah.
he's starting to get the calls, and people call him now.
Yeah.
I have them, call him and set the rides up, and then he does make sure all the paperwork, all the stuff's entered. Mm-hmm. There's a system that we have. It's called RDP, and we kind of put stuff in there to kind of let the state know, hey, here's what we're doing, and we got to track stuff. Because if we just said, yeah, we give people rides,
Sure.
they'd be like, okay, well, what do you mean?
Right.
So we'd put in there what we talk about. We don't put the whole conversation or anything, but just hey, do we talk about housing? Do we talk about sober living? Do we talk about food or, just what our conversation was? And, you go through and you put that stuff in there, and just to make sure all that stuff's in there now. And I don't know, things are going really well. And even me, give myself a little pat on the back, because it was a few months ago. And then I, of course, blame it on the system, blame it on everything else. I Corey'd this grant that we were going to write, and I last minute it, just like Corey does. I'll get it in nick of time. Well, I wrote everything, and that was cool, but then I went to put it in nick of time, and then stuff wasn't lining up. I didn't have things right. And then if you ever had a grant that you submitted through the state of Michigan, which I'm sure maybe you haven't, but if you have, it can be frustrating. They don't have just a system like they have on grants.gov where you just enter the things and there you go. No, yeah. But being the first time I was using it, I should have given myself, I don't know, maybe 3 days or 2.
Right.
And then I kind of blame it on the system. Well, it was junk. It was messed up because they wouldn't allow me to do this and this and that. And I was frustrated. And this time, I want to pat myself on the back twice, because I was smart enough to reach out for help.
Good for you.
And I reached out to Kathy, and I would say where Kathy works, but I don't want it to be like, oh, Kathy. I don't want that to define her as where she works. Like Kathy from GTB. That's Kathy Tatnan. But no, she did such a great job in helping us. And I'm so grateful that I met her.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that she's been throwing it out there for quite a while. Like, hey, I could help you with some grants. I could write some grants. And so this time I was smart enough to go, I'm going to reach out for some help. And I hate asking for help. You know this. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of a big deal. And like I said, I'm just grateful to know Kathy and to have met her and worked with her and Scott on the GTB Reservation Conversation podcast, getting them started. And Scott's last one was pretty emotional. But it was nice. And so for me to have the foresight, is that what I'm looking for? Or am I looking for insight?
No, I think you're right.
Okay. To have the foresight to ask her for help, or just to ask for help, and then to use her, and then to spend the time I needed to kind of tweak the other things that needed to be tweaked so we could submit it. And we did. Mm-hmm. And now we don't know if we've gotten it, but at least it's submitted,
Yeah.
And so I kind of look at that like, hey, I've grown too. Mm-hmm. And then watching the guys in the blogs and how they're getting so much better at writing them and getting them done. It's just, it's pretty cool. It adds more character to 217 Recovery. It adds another extension of what we do at 217recovery.com. Mm-hmm. If you haven't read the blogs, I suggest you do. My ratings on the bottom have nothing to do with if it's a good blog or not. It's just throwing that out there. I just read them and then I comment. Sometimes I'm harsh on purpose for other reasons. And that's just kind of a fun game I play with the guys, but they're all pretty good blogs, so read them. And you can't really do a blog wrong. That's the thing.
Right.
It's just how they're feeling. So I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking about this morning in a nutshell.
I think that's great. And I think that you're spot on all of it, really. But, your position, being the, executive officer of, 217, you didn't even know what all that entailed, really, until it did. And, there's lots of little bits and pieces and big bits and pieces that need to happen. And you're not a professional at some of that stuff. And sometimes you need to look at the people that do that for their job to help out, like accountants or grant writers or, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got it in on time, and Kathy's amazing, and so I feel really good about it. But you played a big part in interacting and getting her the material, and going over it with her, and then cross-checking and all that good stuff. So
yeah, she did a lot of it on her own. I didn't go do too much. I sent her some things and said, "This is what we're doing," but she kind of knew, I think, the gist of it, and she did a really good job, though.
That's awesome.
I feel pretty confident too. And we had a visit from a couple of people from DHHS, and they liked what we were doing, and they loved our office. They loved the whole scene there, and they loved how clean it was, they said, and just how welcoming it was and inviting. And then I told them the ideas of the stuff I want to do, and hopefully we can do that, and hopefully we can keep moving forward with that. I don't see why we couldn't.
Right.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
To look into other avenues of funding, different grants and different things. And, we do the transportation, it could get a little bit of funds in there, but not a lot, because it's not meant to make us millions of dollars. It's meant to get people to treatment.
Right.
And we charge for the state rate, the government rate for gas mileage, and, tires cost money, other things do cost money, but,
sure.
So we're not making a ton off that at all, if any. I don't know. It'll come around, and I really want to get, I don't know, something with video going, man. I'm telling you, it's where it's at. And I'm not talking about like a podcast. I'm talking about just like, I don't even know.
We'll come up with it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And maybe it doesn't even involve 217. Maybe I get with my friend Ron Robinson, and his movie or his documentary is going to be available on Amazon and Reveal. So we'll look for that. Once I see it, I'll talk about it more.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's about radio in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I'm just proud of him for going through the steps. And a lot of people will talk about things and, I want to do this and I want to do that. But to see Ron say that, and Ron's been talking about making a movie for a while, like just with him and me, and like writing it and doing some funny stuff. But when you see people talk about things over and over, and some people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then they never do. They get old and die. But Ron was like, no, F that. I'm going to do this. I'm making my documentary movie. I'm going to get a hold of all these people, and then I'm going to go up to radio stations and film them, and to their houses, and he went all over the state talking to these people. And it was just very cool that he did it. And certain people probably laughed at him and thought he was being silly, but he didn't care, and he did it, and he finished it, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He's gonna have it published on there. He said he submitted it for, it was a film festival. I don't think it was Detroit's film festival. It was some film festival that he submitted it to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but to actually do it, and I told him I admire him for that. And a lot of people say that I did kind of the same thing, but with starting 217 recovery, and I'm just like, man, we're just getting started. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do. There's different ways I want to help people too, and we'll see.
Yeah,
but it's very inspiring.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I've been talking for a lot of minutes. This thing moved on me, so I don't have the time exactly, but a lot of minutes I've been talking. So how about you, Marney? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm really good. Things are going well at my new position. So I am a clinical therapist now for the women's program here in Traverse City Residential. And so it's adjusting to a schedule, a different schedule. And there's a lot of kind of redundancy, but at the same time, every day is different. So, yeah, I really like it. I like it. I like helping. I mean, I was exactly where those ladies were at one point. So, there's a lot of relatability, and, it's really natural. It's a really natural position for me to be in. And, yeah, so, and there's some challenges, because there's some, people who are, some are sicker than others. We'll just say that. But overall, it's a really good group of ladies, and they tend to get along really well. And our max capacity is 10. So, but even though they're all my clients, but that's still, so it's kind of a lot as a caseload for that particular platform of treatment. But I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. And it keeps me busy, and it wears me out, though, is the other piece, too. Like when you start your day early.
Yeah, you're going at like 3 a.m.
No, I didn't go in at, no, I go in at 7 or 7:15 is what I've been going into work at. Sometimes I have 7 o'clock scheduled. Depends. But then I try to wrap up my day earlier. It seems like that is what works for me better. And, but I'm just like, I'm just whooped. Like, it seems like, and I've been trying to do, better self-care, stuff like that. And I don't know. Enjoying the new house. It's, I got to give a virtual tour of the house to my brother and my sister over FaceTime today. I haven't talked to them in a long time, so it was good to kind of touch base. And they're all busy doing their own thing, and so it's kind of hard to connect. But
you talked to them for a while. See, you talked to them. Like, I don't talk to my older brother ever. Like, over about some cats or something on Facebook, we will. My younger brother, I don't really talk to him ever. Sister, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you were only present for a short bit of it. Mm-hmm. So mostly it was my brother saying hi. He saw the house through the tour, and then he said he had to leave because they were on a hike in Arizona because they're on vacation.
He goes on a lot of vacation.
So he didn't really stick around. I didn't get an update on him or really how he's doing, but other than the fact he's on vacation in Arizona. My sister, I got a total crash update on her, just saying crash meaning like I haven't known what she's been up to for the past like 5 or 6 months.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like, not only I hear a lot about what's going on with her through my mom. Mm. So it's like kind of unfair because it's like, I don't feel as kept in the dark, even though I should, because I haven't heard them from her mouth. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't even know she's like dating anybody or what's going on. Well, come to find out, she's had all these new progressions in this relationship and like, so.
I love social media.
And, she's got her own personal struggles with her, with her life and relationships and, and going through divorce and so on and so forth. And the kids are struggling. So, and these are all just natural problems, it's nothing bad she's done or anything she's handled poorly. It's just, going through the motions, I guess, of life.
You get what I'm saying?
And so she gave me, her ups and downs of what's been going on, and that's good. So I feel more in the loop.
Man.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyrone.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Yeah. Those were pretty good drops, I should say, and timely. But no, I heard you guys talking. I was like, okay, I think there's football on downstairs. I better go watch it. Because, yeah, it's nice to check in with family, but that's something I don't do as much as I probably should. And I saw a mutual friend of ours, Christina, she posted something, and she has lost her mom. And she just kind of put on there, like, I don't know, it was really sad, and it kind of made me, like, tear up a little bit. And then I started thinking, like, I don't ever reach out to my mom, so I sent my mom a text and was like, hey, what's up? Well, then she didn't reply till the next day. And she's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I'm just in this gambling addiction seminar web meeting thing. And she was like, nothing. And then later I just get an update from my sister. And maybe that's why. It's because like, it's just, I don't ever talk to my mom and just be like, how are you doing? Like, I don't care about Kylie. I don't care about Travis or Jerry or what they're doing. I want to know how you're doing. And that's something, and not that I'm a therapist or anything, but I think sometimes it would be nice for her just to go, here's how I'm doing, without the whole, well, this is going on. Your sister did this and blah, 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 and that's her life. And I get it, but I think it would probably be a relief for her to step out of that for a minute too. Just having a conversation with her favorite child, one that used to drive her nuts. And now who's got some good stuff going on in his life. Like I'm the kid who she needs to be talking to all the time. Just saying. It's the truth.
Well, it sounded a little bit like you might have a plan on making that a regular conversation.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
I will.
There you go. That's
I
great.
will.
Because
Maybe
things like that don't happen unless you put them in motion.
And we have a chance to do this week because it's Thanksgiving week. We're going down to see family and all that good stuff. My family, anyway. Then we're coming back with your family, and then we have to, talk to your dad. Unfortunately, we won't be able to meet up with him over Thanksgiving, but
Right.
I'll have a chance, downstate. I'll be with my father and stepmom, and then I'll be with my dad or I already said that, with my mom and my stepdad and the other siblings and stuff. I'll have a chance to really sit down and open up with them this weekend and just be like, how are you doing? I'm going to sit every one of them down and be like, no, how are you doing?
That's good. I like it. I think that's great.
How are you doing?
They're going to look at you and be like, what's wrong with you? They're going to be like, are you okay? What is this? Where's the camera?
Like, Corey's a little weird now. Like, what's going on? Is he drinking again?
Right.
As far as he showed up, if he was. Nah, but I want to make it more of an effort. And your mom's doing something cool. Well, at least, I don't know. It'll probably be you and your sister, I assume, maybe, or just you. But your mom wants to do like video chats with your siblings like once a week or something. And is that too much to ask? Absolutely not.
No.
And there'll be times where you'll be like, oh, I don't want to be on this. Or I don't want to do this call. But I think it'll be fun. And I look at that like, would that be cool with me and my siblings? I don't know. I think mom should set a time. It's like Sundays at 5. You want to chat? Let's get on it. And just send it out to everybody. If they answer, they answer. If they don't, they don't.
Right.
But even if it's for just like, hey, I'm in the middle of taking a dump, but I'll call you back later, or I can't talk this week, or I don't know.
Right.
I'm bad with examples. Maybe
Or like we got
answer it and say you're
we got our
busy.
Christmas tree up. Here, look at it.
Yeah. Just to kind of go through that kind of thing. And I don't know.
To feel more connected.
Yeah, I wish our family would do that, and I'm going to suggest that this weekend. Not
It
this weekend,
it is kind of one of those things where it's like, and I'm not trying to be morbid or anything, but like if something were to happen, like, randomly, and like my sister who's in like the epitome of health, or something happened, and I'm just thinking like, I haven't talked to her in like 6 months. Like that's unacceptable. Why would I not? She was there. I'm here. It's a phone call. Like, BB, like it's literally using your thumb to get in contact with somebody. And so I think it's important.
Now, this is another question I have. Are you supposed to talk to your siblings?
Are you supposed to?
Well, I mean, we don't have children, so
Right.
the sibling, I guess my other brother Jerry doesn't, but I don't know. The other siblings in our lives, they have children running around, and does that make it harder to pick up the phone, or is that just an excuse not to pick up the phone?
I mean, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it adds to the things that you have to, juggle. But, and this is kind of, you're going back to what you said originally, is like, even if it's just like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, love you guys. Busy, or hey, love you guys. Look, I'm painting this wall, or whatever it is you're doing on that Sunday. Making, chicken bake for dinner. which I did today. Meanwhile,
It's delicious.
it's delicious.
You should share that recipe on your page.
I should. Yeah.
Video how to make it.
Right.
I'll help you. Let's do that next week. Well, we got Thanksgiving, but soon we'll do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good thought. And even if it's not once a week, even if it's once a month, as like a check-in, if people can make an effort, I think it's something. I mean, I tend to check in with my mom more than anyone else in my family. And I think once you start doing that, when you don't, it feels odd, like something's wrong, like you're missing something, like you're supposed, you know what I mean? Which I think is great because, and we only really reestablished that kind of closeness and connectedness when I got sober, for real. The other parts of my life, it was her trying to chase me down and make sure I was alive. So, kind of a whole different light on it, and we're actually like enjoying each other's company, and I help her out with things she needs help with, and she's there for me, as a mom and as a friend, and it's great. So
yeah, you talked to her quite a bit. I don't know. When I saw Christina's post though, I just thought one day, if you go through like every little history of the world, I'm going to miss the time that I wasted.
Yeah.
Of not picking up the phone and saying hello.
Yeah.
So I like to have a priority this week.
That's great.
When I talk to people at Thanksgiving, just to be like, yo. But I just sometimes think, oh, well, they're all so busy, but I don't think they're that busy.
Right.
You can always lock a kid in a room or something, right? I mean, it's not, I don't know, maybe not.
Well, and the thing is, it's not like you're asking for any different information than probably anybody else who they catch up with when their friends call or whatever, and your sibling, or son, and what's been going on with you? What have you been working on? What have you been doing? How's work? How's your Christmas shopping coming? I don't know.
Can you believe, like, seriously, a month?
I know.
I bought one gift.
Did you?
That's going to go under the tree.
Oh, yeah. I told you not to give it to me because you always ruin surprises.
So I haven't been giving it to you for like a week.
That's really good. That's incredible progress.
That was a sex joke. But no, it happened. But anyway, the gift, I need to wrap. So I need to find wrapping paper. But yeah. And then,
I have a whole thing of wrapping paper in the storage closet.
Oh, which one? We have 5 storage closets.
No, we have 2 doors to the same storage closet.
I have one that's like Chronicles of Narnia. You open it and you're like, whoa, what is going on here? What is this place?
That is the magical, that is the...
The cats love going in there. They're like, rawr. They come out, they're like lions, full-grown lions. And they go in there and they're like, rawr.
That is the representation of my ultimate skill set of organizing because I've somehow figured out how to Tetris in like 3 rooms, like 2 closets and 1 like almost half room of stuff into underneath the stairs in that storage closet.
And you even told me, because I was like, I want to get a weight bench. And you're like, it's not going downstairs by the TV where you think it's going.
Right.
You put it in the storage room. And I'm like, in the Chronicles of Narnia room? No. I'm not putting that in another land, another universe. What are you talking about? It's not, what? You have to move. So, well, we did get a treadmill, so that's pretty
We
sweet.
did get a treadmill.
We're getting it.
Yeah. Well,
It's on the way
we ordered
here.
it. It's
yeah,
on the way.
they took my money for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just have to wrap the present again. Back to the
Okay.
the Christmas gifts, and you got me one sort of already. Mm-hmm. Not sort of already. You see how I did that? I want more gifts, I guess.
Oh.
No, but you got me some nice earrings, which are nice because I've never had nice earrings, and there was a comment about, well, you didn't like those ones or this one or that one. I'm like, yeah, because I buy them off Amazon. They're like $3. They suck. They hurt. My ears are all jacked up. But these are really nice, and I like them a lot, I think. So
Good.
appreciate that. Merry Christmas.
Merry
to me.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and then your one gift is going in. But I'm afraid to wrap it and put it on there early because the cats.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, we got to get on that Christmas shopping because it's going to be here quick. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving. Just yesterday it was Halloween.
I know. Actually, I kind of can. I kind of been like I've kind of been looking forward to the Thanksgiving break. This will be my first break from like having started work regularly, like diligently, Monday through Friday, 7.
How much vacation time do you have? Can you like move it over to the next year, or do you have to use it for the end of the year?
No, it never goes away. You keep it. It keeps accruing. You don't have to use it.
No. Some places.
That's why I have vacation time, like a bank or whatever.
Well, maybe we'll go somewhere in the spring.
Maybe.
Just hang out.
Maybe.
Not Seattle. I like Seattle. The people are cool. Just the hills.
It's one of those things. It'll say Seattle, and there's a box, and we'll check that box.
Yeah, if you want to train to climb Mount Everest, you go to Seattle for a weekend and
they know, everybody knows it's not that bad.
It's that bad,
but
times 10.
It's challenging. You do not want to go there if you have no desire to be able to actually do a little bit of physical work, exercise.
It's horrible. Good people though. It was, I don't know, it was kind of cool, but I just wish it would have rained more.
Oh.
Anyway, that's enough of Seattle. If you want to hear more about the Seattle trip, you can go back to our August podcast and listen. But thanks for listening today. I'm going to call it. I'm going to reach out to mom, family members this week with Thanksgiving coming up. We'll do a podcast probably from the North office, so I don't know if you'll be a part of that one.
Okay.
And maybe we can do a podcast while we're driving.
Yeah, we could do that.
It's always fun.
It is always fun.
But thanks for listening, and the app, all the website stuff, you know it, right? 217recovery.com. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.